Hello, everyone, and welcome to Fuck It, We're Just Starting the Show. I'm your host, Dom, and with me I have Omikins.
Hello.
And Michael.
Hi.
So this is Season 1, Episode 9, Raining Pain in New Orleans.
Take 3.
Action. How you guys doing tonight?
Fantastic.
Yeah, quite well. I'm in a new location with the white walls.
You guys got the giggles tonight?
She does. I don't know why. Maybe it's my goofy dancing.
I'm good now.
No, you're not.
The giggles, they were just... They're stuck in a time pocket. Now they're gone.
They're not gone because I'm going to throw them at the end of the show, so everybody that doesn't know why the show started this way could see it at the end.
Okay.
We're pulling a memento on you. The whole thing's being done in reverse.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
So, the next episode... No, I'm kidding. I was going to start at the end. You didn't know? Okay.
Sure.
Anyway. So, Klaus is getting really super protective over Haley now. What do you guys think about that? Do you think he's true to his word about not using the baby to make hybrids, or do you think that's still something in the back of his mind?
See, I don't know. The way he was... At first I was thinking, yeah, that's totally in the back of his head. Like, you know, he's thinking, I want more hybrids. I can have more hybrids. But then at the beginning he's like, as a show of good faith, go slaughter all the werewolves around. Then I can't make hybrids.
I don't know. It's up in the air. You never know what he's going to do. It might come down to the point that now that he's protecting these werewolves, it might actually come to the point where, you know, he'll feel forced to make these hybrids
Yeah.
and have to use the baby. But other than that, it seems like he's pretty adamant at that, you know, he was never going to use the baby to begin with. It was just Elijah and Rebecca thinking that he was going to, and la-di-da-da drama.
Well, we don't really know much about this hybrid baby itself. So if this thing is born, which I'm assuming it's going to be, because it'd be kind of devastating for them to not have this baby, this hybrid child.
After this whole season.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm going to assume that the hybrid child is born. And if that is the case, do you think it's going to have any accelerated kind of growth?
Like the Twilight baby that came out of Bella's freaking bosom from freaking, what's his face, Edward? Accelerated growth there? What?
No.
Is it gonna sparkle too?
I was unaware that the Twilight people had a baby.
They did.
Oh.
Yeah.
This is awkward.
So then in the movie with Omi and her mom, in the theater, and until the last 10 minutes of the last movie, part 1, I don't even remember the name. What was it, Breaking Dawn or something?
I don't even remember.
Is that the name of the baby, Dawn?
No.
No.
Renesmee. Why do I even remember that?
I wanted to kill myself in increasingly creative ways in the middle of the theater up until the last 10 minutes of the movie when Bella died. And I was like,
Spoilers!
who gives a
Spoilers.
fuck? If you haven't read the book or seen the movie by now, go fuck yourself.
Wow. I don't intend on doing either of them.
Well, there you go. Bella dies. And then her cold, lifeless corpse laying there, finally she acted something right.
Okay, I don't care about Bella.
Yeah, and then I was interested in the movie. Like, yeah!
Let's talk about Rebecca.
Do you think the baby's gonna have accelerated growth? Why are we talking about sparkling vampires?
I don't know.
Next question.
I really don't know. I think she's a she, he. We don't know if it's an either or right now.
Bitch.
I have no idea, but I think it's going to be more werewolf than vampire, so I don't think it's going to be accelerated. And the thing is, vampires don't age.
Right,
So
but werewolves
the
do.
aging, if anything, the aging would be reversed and the baby would age slower.
Could be. I was thinking maybe it advanced early through its teens or something because of puberty. They could explain that some way, shape, or form, that it accelerated hormones, accelerates the growth, yada, 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 and then it slows down from there because of the vampire gene. But I was thinking more. The reason I asked this question in the first place is if Klaus doesn't decide to make hybrids with the child, what if the child decides to start making hybrids?
I don't know.
Don't know.
Would they be sired to the child? Would they be sired to Klaus? Would they be sired to Haley?
They'd be sired to the child.
You know what? We don't know how that would work yet. I mean, we're assuming they would be sired to the child because the child's making them, but at the same... No, yeah, they would be sired to the child because when Tyler made the hybrid using the baby's blood, he was trying to protect Haley at all costs.
But we don't know if it was trying to protect Haley because of the child or not.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It was he was probably trying to protect her because she's carrying the baby and he's sired to the baby.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they would be sired to the kid, which means Daddy's gonna have some trouble on his hands.
Indeed.
Well, not when the baby is like, can barely walk. I mean, they can't even comprehend speech at that point. Baby won't realize.
Do you think if we get to finally see this baby grow up, do you think Klaus is gonna be betrayed by his own child at some point?
I mean, if it takes after his dad in any way, shape, or form, there's gonna be some betrayal happening there.
Oh, I'm not even going with the sum. Yeah, it's gonna happen.
This is all going back to what Cammy said last week, that Klaus is the product of his own unhappiness. So he'll find some reason for the child to betray him.
Yarp.
Yeah.
So, just like in this episode, we saw Elijah bring Klaus's mother's ring to him. And Klaus is like, I have had family coming out of my ass for the past however many thousands of years. I don't need any more family. And he dismisses it off. So he wants to completely push away his werewolf side of the family. He wants nothing to do with them. But then later he reveals that he actually does, and he's keeping it a secret to the human. He wants only the human faction knowing, because he doesn't want his immediate family knowing. So do you think Klaus actually cares about them, or are they alive for some other reason?
Well, obviously he wants answers. Yeah, he wants answers. So he's probably going to keep them around to find out more about that part of his heritage, of his bloodline. And I think once that's done, if he's true to his word, he doesn't want the werewolves around so he can make hybrids, then he's going to off them. Once he finds out everything he needs to find out. Okay. Unless there's a key to having them around, then of course he's going to keep them around or make them into hybrids. Right.
Yeah.
So we kind of have both bloodlines running through the swamps here. We have Klaus's bloodline, we have Haley's bloodlines. They're both in the bayou, hidden there. What part do you think the werewolves are going to play a role in this story?
Well, obviously they're versus the vampires. I mean, they're gonna. I think it's already proven. Like Haley's sister Eve said that there are wolves here. They're new. They haven't really shown any aggression to each other, but they will kind of band together and go up against the vampires at one point. And then, of course, Klaus is going to have to make that decision. Like, what do I do? Do I, side with my vampire family or my werewolf family? And there's going to be that break in the middle that he's going to have to just decide.
Please do not tell me that Haley and Klaus's werewolves are related and they're from the same family and Klaus just had incest.
I actually thought that for a second, and I just kind of went, no, that's not where they're going with this. It can't be.
Better not. I would lose all respect for the show.
After about 35, 40 generations at this point, I don't think it really counts as incest. Your bloodline is so, diluted that they're just related to you by, ancestry and association.
Technically, we're all from Adam and Eve, right?
Or from some guy in Africa. So, I mean,
okay.
Isn't it? I forget, there was some kind of fact, I don't know how accurate it was, that nearly everybody in the world is related to Genghis Khan in some way or the other.
I can see it. I have his eyes. See?
How would you know he had blue eyes?
He totally had blue eyes.
He was a Mongolian.
What about the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon?
I don't like him. The only thing I like about Kevin Bacon is the bacon part of his name.
He is delicious. What? Who said that?
Coming
Anyway.
up next, Dom eats Kevin Bacon.
No, I think Haley's wolves and Klaus's wolves, they're different. Haley's wolves, they have the tattoo, the birthmark on their shoulder, and Klaus's wolves, they have the ring as a sigil. So they're not related.
Yep, I can see that. I just hope they're not distantly related.
That'd be stupid.
It would, and I don't want it to happen. So
Stupid.
why do I start predicting things that I don't want to happen? We know what happens when I start predicting things.
It would be stupid, but at the same time inconsequential, which would make it even more stupid. Why even bring it up? It's been 1,000+ years.
Exactly.
So,
True.
Just shush. Next.
So we get to see a little more of Joshua. He's off hiding in the garage because he wants no part of Klaus when Klaus is actually in the same house, like a few rooms away. But he's hiding in the garage because he's scared shitless of what Klaus is going to do to him now that he's betrayed Klaus. Klaus doesn't really seem like he cares.
He doesn't really care.
He seemed like he thinks that Josh was tricked. That's the way it seemed to me. He seemed like he was tricked.
That's how he seemed like he said it
Right.
over to Marcel, yeah.
So, yeah. Marcel didn't really own up and fess up and say, yeah, we knew about Josh. He just said we fed him false information.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you think's going to happen to Josh now?
Josh is going to be a pansy, but I think he's going to end up, pairing up with Davina and Cammy to figure out what's going to happen with those two.
It's kind of a crazy combination there.
a witch, a human, and a gay vampire. I smell another spinoff.
No, that's the worst. That is the worst idea ever.
I don't want a spin-off within a spin-off. Like,
No.
no. It's going a little too far at that point.
I smell a sitcom.
But,
They'll have the baby in there too, and then it's a perfect sitcom.
yeah, 2.5 Men. Men.
I have the sitcom episode of Supernatural going through my head, and Dean and Sam riding a tandem bicycle.
Oh.
So, Davina, at the end of the episode, she comes in and she wipes Cammy's compulsion that Klaus had just got through giving her.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you think Cammy's going to do with this now, with this little alliance between Davina and Josh?
Well, first she's gonna be mad. Cammy's gonna be pissed
Not
off.
at Davina or Josh, though.
No. She's gonna be pissed off at Klaus, pissed off at Marcel. She's gonna be pissed off at all the vampires.
Gonna be pissed off at Uncle Kieran.
Yes, because Uncle Kieran was going along with it. So she's gonna be pissed off at them, and then she's gonna help Davina, and in return, Davina's gonna help her find out about her brother, because I don't think she knows about her brother still.
Right.
So, I mean, that won't be much of a discovery. I mean, that's easy to find out. I'm pretty sure Joshua even overheard it at one point.
So, how does this benefit Davina?
It gets her out of there, because she thinks that Marcel's just using her. I mean, and really, he's trying to protect her. That's basically how it's come across, but she thinks, because Haley told her, that Marcel's just using her. She just wants out. She just wants out, and she knows that the elder witches are dead now, and she can safely go outside again, and she just wants to get away. She wants to be free.
Not quite yet. I mean, she can safely go out because all the elders are dead and none of them can complete the harvest ritual. But what's stopping one of the other witches from getting the crazy idea of trying it?
If I were Davina and one of those crazy witches decided to try anything, I'd blow them into a million pieces, because I could.
Ooh. What do you think Klaus is going to do after he finds out Cammy's memory was wiped by Davina?
He's gonna be so shocked, and
Well,
he's
not
gonna
wiped. I mean, the compulsion was wiped, not her memory.
yeah. He's gonna be really shocked. He's gonna like he wanted her gone just as much as Kieran did. So to find out that she's with that she's with Cammy, or wait, we're talking about Cammy, that she's with Davina, that's even going to shock him even more because he doesn't want to hurt either one of them because he needs them.
Right. And how is Haley going to fit into this whole picture?
I don't know.
Because Davina obviously trusts her now.
Yeah, I think Davina's going to help her protect her family, protect her baby even.
So it goes a little further than this comedy trio that we just mentioned. It's a witch, a human, a vampire, and a werewolf.
And a werewolf. Dare I say Preggers werewolf.
A gay vampire, a pregnant werewolf, an all-powerful witch, and a human. Who's a psychologist.
All we need now is a ghost.
Oh, God, and we got the third attempt at being human.
Oh, God.
Indeed.
Shh. I don't want to hear about it.
Basically, moral of the story, Americans need to stop trying to copy British shows. Can you imagine if there was an American version of Doctor Who? Someone would burn the studio down.
I'm going to make it.
God.
So, Rebecca. She's on Marcel's side, 100%. There's no question about that.
Mm-hmm.
Dumb blonde.
But, Marcel really doesn't seem like he wants anything to do with her anymore.
No.
What the hell happened?
He does and he doesn't. Because he wants his power, he wants his stuff back. And the only way that's going to happen is if he partners up with Klaus. And the only way that he can do that is if he stops screwing around with Rebecca in the back.
He wants his power back, and he also wants to protect his people. Whether he actually gets sole command or he just rules side by side with Klaus, all he really wants is, his vampires and friends protected. So, by any means necessary at this point. And yeah, that means, sorry, Rebecca, you're getting shafted.
Which role do you think he's going to take? Do you think he's going to stay side by side with Klaus? Because Klaus is definitely opening up to him. He told him everything.
It's a tough one to say at this point. It could go either way. I mean, Marcel seems genuinely interested, but at the same time, there's that bit of me that's saying he's just going to keep playing along to the best of his ability until the end.
Yeah. What about Rebecca? How do you think she's going to take this?
She's going to stomp her feet and slam her door and throw things across the room and break picture frames and, be a typical blonde little...
So she's going to pull an
spoiled
Omi.
brat, and then she's going to pull an Omi, and then she's going to go on a murder rampage
What?
and kill 50 people.
What?
Did you get your Buffalo Wild Wings today?
I did.
See? How did you get them?
I asked.
With a really... just asked with the most incredibly sweet and nice way. And when I went... she went, please...
So she didn't have to throw a temper tantrum.
No, I didn't have to throw a temper tantrum.
Yeah. See, tonight was the one night I could have legitimately said no, but you know what? It was boneless Thursdays, and I was tempted. So, whatever.
I don't know. So, do you think their partnership is gonna have the rest of the vampires in the court?
I don't know.
I think there's going to be two sides to that. There's going to be people who side with Marcel, and there's going to be people who are like, why the hell are you with Klaus? Get the hell out of here.
He's going to have some of his vampires lose respect for him.
Yeah.
Even though he's doing this to protect them.
You think they're going to try to rally up and fight?
What chance do they have, really? As Elijah put it, you fail to subdue my brother with over 100-to-1 odds. So, yeah, so there's really not much they can do.
Yeah.
Well, what happens if they get the werewolves in there and, Davina actually goes back to her roots and gathers up all the witches, and then he's got vampires, witches, and werewolves coming at him.
If they throw enough witchy power at him in the right way, yeah, they'd be able to subdue him. But werewolves, really, I don't see even 1,000 of them being a threat to Klaus.
Not to Klaus, but to the rest of his army.
Yeah.
To Marcel and all the other vampires. Because a bite from a werewolf will kill them, and Klaus isn't going to heal all of them. He just doesn't have it in him
Marcel.
to care. He'll heal Marcel, but who else is he going to heal? Then he only has Marcel by his side.
He'll heal his...
So, I mean, what can Marcel do up against all of them? If the rest of them end up dying from werewolves, and he only heals Marcel, he only has Marcel.
This is true.
Yep.
And Joshua.
No, I think Joshua would be on Davina's side.
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think Klaus opened up and told Marcel everything?
To gain trust and loyalty, friendship back, things like that.
Transparency, yeah. Try, stop lying and see what honesty gets you for a while.
Marcel really didn't buy it, though.
Mm.
He was like, oh, so this witch has been blackmailing you, made you do all this stuff, too?
I think Klaus is in the same mindset as Elijah and Rebecca. Klaus has done so much bad shit in his past that that's all they remember, and they only see the bad coming through. So to them, he might be honestly, like truly telling the honest truth, and everyone else is just gonna think he's bluffing and he's lying just to get what he wants.
So is that what happened kind of with Elijah's apology at the end? Like, is he sincere about that? Or is he just trying to pull the wool over Klaus's eyes?
I don't know. Elijah's a pretty honest guy to begin with. So for him to actually, and it seemed like he never says he's sorry ever because he's always the one that's right. So for him to come forward and be like, I'm sorry, I was wrong, was like, oh, wow. That kind of took Klaus back a bit, and it would have to be sincere for Elijah to apologize like that.
Yeah, so I do believe it was sincere, because Elijah is, like Omi just said, he's always right, but he is man enough to admit when he's wrong those very few occasions.
Right. Yep. So this is technically the mid-season finale.
Yes, it was.
It's a very short one, because there's not a lot of time between it. It's only a few weeks. We return January 14th.
Yes, we do.
With episode number 10, called The Casket Girls. There's no synopsis. What do you guys think the Casket Girls are?
It's about Davina and Cammy. It's gotta be.
Something like that, yeah.
I mean,
Davina, Cammy, and Haley.
I know
they form a musical group.
The titles have always been a play on words or whatever. So the Casket Girls really does mean something. I can't figure it out.
Basket Girls?
Sure.
Sure. Who are the Basket Girls?
I don't know. But
is
I know.
Is even a thing? Is there even a thing called the Basket Girls?
I
have no idea. I have no idea.
Mike's Googling it right now.
Internet is your friend. The Basket Girls.
But it's obviously that it's gonna be about Davina and Cammy and how they're gonna fix things and make it right for them.
Yeah. Do you think Josh is a basket girl? A casket girl?
Well, you see, this is where I'd get a smack from Kiggles instead of me smacking him. And I'm not gonna say it, so I don't get smacked.
Any luck, Mike?
The Basket Girls. The top search is thebasketgirls.com. Hand stitch. Basically, they're like child carrying baskets for infants that are like hand woven insides and stuff, and some of them are actually quite nice looking. But
you heard it here first. This episode is based off thebasketgirls.com. Go buy their stuff.
Not 2 girls, 1 cup.
Can I get
whoa! This just went in a completely different direction here.
Can I get a free one of your baskets for the free advertisement?
I don't know why you want a basket. Are you gonna be the flower girl?
I search image search for the basket girls, and every single thing is high school girls basketball.
How about you search the casket girls and see what you find?
Omikins, where can the people find you?
They can find me on Twitter at LadyVenom24. LadyVenom24.
Mike, where can the people find pictures of your pretty baskets?
They can find me on Twitter at Thilladrin. Honey, can you please hold up my lower third, being you stole it.
I didn't steal shit.
THILLADREN.
And you can follow me on... Oh, that's a cat. Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at Phenomedom, PHENOMEDOM. And you can follow us all on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at ASOTV Podcasts for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows. Feel free to leave us comments, post on Facebook, tweet at us, send us an email at asotv@gmail.com.
Ooh, I found it. Okay, so first off, the Casket Girls are like a small like band, like a local band for some town, who knows. But a Casket Girl, also known as a casquette, it's spelled CASQUETTE, is historically known as a casket girl, was one of the women brought from France to the French colonies of Louisiana to marry. The name derives from the small chests in which they carried their clothes. Recording done?
Oh, hi. We're still here.
Well, that actually makes sense because, New Orleans and all that, it was a major French port. The first consignment reached Mobile, Alabama, Biloxi, and New Orleans in 1728.
I still don't get it. What about clothes and carrying them? That doesn't seem very important to me.
They were mail order brides in the 1700s, is basically what we're going with here. They were women brought from France to marry people in the French colonies.
In the French Quarter.
Yep.
So, until next week.
Yeah, as it says, normally women were supplied to the colonists by raking the streets of Paris for undesirables or emptying correction houses. So basically, they were all the whores, criminals, and whatever, and poor people that were rounded up and shipped off to the New World to get married. Okay, I'm done talking.
That totally wasn't important.
It's interesting.
No.
Play on words?
Go to bed.
No. Is he going to press the end local recording button, or does he want me to keep talking?
Do, 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 do.
And now for a long history of New Orleans.
Nope! Hello, everyone, and welcome to the As Seen on TV podcast for the originals. Season 9.
No.
Episode 1. The rain in Spain will fall mainly on the plain.
I'm just going to keep dancing.
Have a good night. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the As Seen on TV podcast for the originals, Season 1, Episode 9.
It's definitely me dancing doing it. It's gotta be.
Okay. You're doing it.